Hey. It's for you, Primo.
Yeah, because you don't like our music. You know what I'm saying? So let's turn it up for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that scratching? That's for you, Primo. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, he says better. Okay.
Okay.
You don't like the other one. We're going to find the other joint. What's up,
hey,
y'all?
Guys.
Good evening to all of the chimes
Yes.
tonight. So glad to be here. Welcome once again to Ask John and April Live here, our third Wednesday night in a row.
Aren't you
Breaking
proud of
records.
us, guys?
You know what I'm saying? We
Are we
only
really
did
back
this.
now?
We only did this because Primo said we wouldn't do it. Primo said we were going to basically not be here after the second week. You know what I'm saying?
We are back now. You dancing in the bedroom, Primo?
We back for real. You know what I'm
I
saying?
would love to see that, by the way.
Primo dancing?
Yes.
That's not a,
I don't think I've ever seen you dance.
It's not a good sight. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you right now. Actually, I haven't seen him dance either, but I can imagine. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not great. So, babe, there's somebody in the chat tonight that I don't recognize. Jasmine Ruska. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, Jasmine. We love
you too. You know what I'm saying?
Glad you're here.
Are you a newbie or have you been around for a while? She says you guys are awesome.
You know, sometimes people watch and they don't comment.
They don't comment. That's true.
So
That's true.
you might be
good
one of those.
evening,
You might be
Jeremiah.
a chime.
Yeah,
You might be a chime, and we
might
don't
not
know
realize
it.
Now, we'll ask that tonight. That's a good question. Can you technically be a chime if you never chime in the comments? You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is...
Well, yes, because you're chiming in at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Okay.
could be chiming with yourself.
Yeah, all right. You're right.
Yeah. You always a chime
okay.
because you're thinking something about the topic.
Yeah,
and you just may not be one that wants to chime live.
Honestly.
Or chime out in front of everyone. And that's okay.
And the kind of chiming that we actually care about is that you chime with your partner. That's really
right.
what it is.
Or your friends.
Yes.
You can chime with your friends about the topic.
The stuff we're talking about,
Doesn't
we're
have to be with
hoping-
your partner
That's
only.
true. You're right. That's a good
You
point.
can be single and chiming in.
That's a good point, April.
Okay, we're not leaving out the
You are
single.
absolutely
Single,
right.
and,
We are
single
not.
and fabulous.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay,
Single and fabulous.
so
you can
our-
actually dance, Primo. You know
That's not
I
true.
love dancing, Primo.
Yeah, she does.
So
Jeremiah's
you can
congratulations.
dance.
Congratulations on 3 weeks in a row. You know what I'm saying? We got a streak
Thank you,
going.
Jeremiah.
You know what I'm saying?
OG
Miss Straight Up No
chime.
Chaser, good to see you as
Hey.
usual. Eugenia,
hi,
what's up, girl?
Gina.
Uh,
My favorite.
Tiffany, what's up?
I love you.
Tavia, what's the
Hey,
deal?
Tiffany. Hey,
I haven't
Tavia.
seen Tavia Webley on here in a minute. I mean, I don't know if ever, to be honest with you. Good evening.
So we need
So
to call
glad
them
that you're
live
here.
chimes. These are the live chimes.
That's true. That's the other thing because we do have those who are watching. If you're watching us later
Yes.
on the replay, on the rebroadcast, whatever you want to
Yeah,
call
you
it,
still
you know
a
what I'm saying?
chime.
You are a chime, and we're
It's the
glad that
late
you are
chime.
here tonight as well.
No, it's a late chime.
So welcome. So listen, if you have never been here before and this is your first time here, we would love you to put newbie in the chat. Go ahead and do that. We do
Yes.
welcome you. We want you to be part of the chimes. By the way, you are only a newbie once. The next week that you come, you are officially a chime.
Exactly.
And
No.
we are
Actually,
exactly-
if you're new and you chime in
Yes.
tonight,
You're a chime then.
you're a chime.
There you go.
As soon as you start chiming.
So put newbie, and the moment you put a newbie, you're no longer a newbie. You're now a
Exactly.
chime. You know what I'm saying?
So Tavia, that's her
This is your first time. Yeah.
first time.
That's crazy.
She's a chime.
Yeah, well,
you know.
we know you from back in the day, so we've
Right.
known you for a long time. But we did not know this is your first time. That's great. Camilla, good to
Yes.
see you.
Hey,
Of course.
Camilla.
Hey, April and her partner. Wow, that's it. So we already know right now
Team
she's Team
April.
April. You know what I'm saying? That's
I
like
love her.
right away. You know what I'm saying? Tiffany
She's an
lit
OG
chimes.
chime.
Exactly. Yeah. So Tavia's a newbie. Yeah, that's it now. You're not a newbie anymore.
No.
You are now a chime.
Exactly. We need a sound for a new chime. We
Andrew,
gotta put that in.
We do.
New
We do have to put
chime
something like at least like
sounds,
some
something.
kind of clap or something
Yeah,
like
we gotta
that.
do
Yeah,
that.
we gotta step it up.
get
You know
We
what I'm
gotta
saying?
step it up. Yeah.
What's up, our favorite Graham?
Hey, our favorite Graham
What's the deal,
is
man?
back.
Of course, Andrew.
With
I shouted
us.
him about a second ago. You know what I'm saying?
Glad to see you
Really excited
here.
about tonight's
Hey,
show.
Andrew.
You know, honestly, I don't think there's a night that we do the show that I'm not excited about it. Part of the reason is because we have a lot of fun doing this. It is live, so we get to actually interact with you live, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also kind of like a time for us to come aside from regular whatever. You know, you have regular work stuff that you're doing,
Yeah.
and this is just fun. You know what I'm saying?
getaway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a little, and we hope that's what it is for you guys too. Hopefully, this is your like oasis in time. You know, an hour and 15 minutes, however long we're on here, you get a chance to be able to just chill out,
Sit back,
hang out.
chill.
Yeah, you know, maybe
Laugh.
maybe we bring up something that's a little bit tense, and maybe it messes stuff up. I don't know, but we'll see tonight.
It should not. It should not.
This topic might. You never know. You know what I'm saying?
This topic might. You are right. But we're hoping that by the end, you can, have a better understanding.
And maybe
for one
better
another.
Intimacy, because that's really our goal.
It is.
Our goal is that you step up your intimacy. And we believe it can happen in more than just the bedroom. It does happen in more than just the bedroom.
So I'm going to say for the newbies, for people who are here for the first time, this is not going to be our background.
Oh,
not
yeah,
that
just
I have
so
to
you know.
explain this, but as we are,
and
and it may be a very long time before this changes. However,
it may be.
We are asking people to send ideas that they have that we could do for the background.
Yeah, so
different little ideas.
So if you're
that
new,
think,
we moved to a new place. We're in our basement. The basement is unfinished, and so we don't have anything really nice looking.
What up, Woo?
Woo made it. Good to see you, man. By the way,
Woo, you are a mess.
By the way, Gary asked, "Are y'all gonna be there tomorrow?"
Let's see what's happening tomorrow.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Are we gonna be there?
I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe he'll say something. You know what I'm saying? Primo says he looks forward to this each week. I'm glad you do, man.
Yes.
We look forward to you being on here.
Here.
We're actually disappointed when certain times aren't there,
Exactly.
and you always know Primo's gonna be there. He's missed like maybe 2 shows only in the whole lifetime of our having.
He needs
this
a
guy.
gift.
You know what I'm saying?
He needs a gift.
He probably should get some kind of merch.
We should. We need to send you some
Free.
merch.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Woo, you are crazy. What is bugging
Oh,
me?
he's saying Snacks Friday. So it's not tomorrow. It's Friday. Tomorrow.
Oh,
This
he
Thursday.
thinks today's Thursday.
Yeah, but the point is, are you saying the Grams are coming back?
I saw a
For
thing
Snacks
that
on
the Grams
Friday?
are coming back.
Good. We will be there
First
with
of all,
bells on.
I
okay.
was one of the ones who put somewhere. I don't even remember what
You
it was.
said it
and
on
I
this
was
show.
Like, was it this show?
You said to Gary because he came on. He said something. You said y'all need to come back.
No, but it was something else that they were doing or something. And I typed in whatever I was on and was like, yo, I need the Grams to come back.
Yeah, I do.
Y'all are really good.
It's excellent. I love it.
Okay? Like,
yeah, I'm ready for y'all to come back.
y'all
And
need,
we're
I
gonna
know
be there.
it's difficult when you're working and
It
everything,
is.
but
It
I'm
is.
telling you, it's so good.
And it's worth, I think, taking the time because you're interacting with people online, stuff
You're
like that, and you're making an impact.
You
know
are.
what I'm saying?
So we support you, Grams.
And of course, for people who don't know, there is a very important piece of equipment on our table right now because of the Grams. Literally,
so
this
the music
road,
you're hearing,
everything you hear,
we're
the
able
sound,
to press
all that
buttons and stuff
Yeah,
because of the Grams.
like this right here.
Live from Washington,
That's
D.C.
because of the Grams.
You are listening to Just John and April on the Lance J
Grams.
Radio Network.
That's because of the
That's
Grams.
right.
We're pressing buttons on a
So
Roadcaster Pro.
Y'all need to come back.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Y'all have been
They are
impactful
coming
to
back.
us.
Yes, Wu said they are coming back. Snacks
Yes.
with the Grams.
Yes.
And I always have my snacks ready to go.
I wouldn't eat. I would get in full watching Paul grub it down. You know what I'm saying?
No, that was good. That was
How was
good.
that? Yeah, he said not tomorrow, Friday. We know. We know
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Okay, so before we get into the actual topic, I want to talk about something real quick.
Well, before you start talking about something,
Okay, go ahead.
I need y'all to go ahead and share.
Yeah, go
Y'all
ahead and do that.
Go ahead and share so that we can get this topic already out there. Because when we start getting into the nitty,
You're right.
we need to make sure that you've already shared. So go ahead and just press share real quick.
Gary said, y'all are too good. Thank you, Gary. That's
Yes.
very nice of you to say. And you're probably saying it to us because you're thanking us for being too good to you right just now. Jackie Mitchell, hello. How
Hi,
are you,
Jackie?
Jackie?
How are you?
Good to have you tonight.
Yes.
By the way, that's probably why we don't wear that because it's hard to see the comment over your champion now.
You're right.
It don't matter, though. We'll be fine. Angie, what's the deal?
Hey,
And she
Angie.
just shared. You know what I'm saying?
Yay.
Who's going to approve it and Wakanda? Yeah, do that. Do that.
Yes,
do that.
go
do
ahead
that,
and approve
do
it.
that.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me just tell you what happened to me today, and I'm wondering. So here's what I want to know, and I'm not asking the audience. I'm asking you, April, and the
Okay.
audience. They can chime in too. I don't know.
Yeah.
They know me, so they may have some insights in this. I want to know: do you think that I am getting sentimental in my older age?
You ain't that old yet.
I know that.
Nah.
Okay, you don't think so? So something happened today that I wasn't expecting.
You'll
and I
get there later.
maybe.
You'll get there later.
I know people that we know that are very close to us that as they age, they're getting really sentimental. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, they're,
Yes.
really, really soft and
I won't call any names. but
sensitive
yes.
and, you know what I'm saying? All
Yes.
kind of stuff. So anyway,
Yeah.
today, I found myself watching,
You were crying
I
after the
wasn't
people
crying.
won on Family Feud?
no,
Oh,
nothing like that. No, that's not like that.
okay.
I watched at least an hour, and I know it was longer than an hour, but I don't know how long it was. It might have been 2. I don't think it was 3.
Of a Lifetime movie?
And heck no. No way in the world. I watched at least an hour today of the panda coverage.
Oh yes.
Listen, here in Maryland,
Yes.
in DC, at the National Zoo, we had 3 pandas that were transported back to China.
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, they were on loan to us. I just found this out today. We got them in like 1978. They were given to Jimmy Carter as a 2 of them were, and then I think the baby that the 2 of them had together was born. That's why there's 3. And
exactly.
so anyway, those pandas were given to Jimmy Carter during his administration as a gift, not to keep, but just on loan.
Yes, just to say
from China.
we are good with y'all.
Correct,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
And those pandas have been here. I think they're like, I don't know, 35 years old, something like that,
Yeah,
whatever.
something like that. Mhm.
And maybe older than that.
Did
'cause if
anybody
they're-
watch that?
Anyway, people that live in the
FedEx.
DMV, you probably would have seen it. It was on coverage pretty much all day today. It was, they showed the. Listen, guys, they had a motorcade, like a presidential
They had a
motorcade
for
the
pandas.
pandas. They had 3 different FedEx trucks
with panda faces on them,
Right.
and panda faces were on the
plane too. Right,
And
exactly.
they said the plane was specially made
It was like a jumbo jet
on the inside.
that was not for
To show you talking about the
the
pandas
pandas got deported. No, they did not get deported. To show it,
They
we
just
had to
got
give
sent.
them back.
They're retiring.
Yes.
They said they're retiring back home.
Yes.
They're going back home to retire.
Yes, and I don't know if we're getting more.
Now the baby should have stayed with us because the baby's
what
not
I'm
old
saying.
enough for retirement.
But I think the baby needed to be with his parents or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. You don't
I'm not-
separate. I mean,
yeah.
oh, that was terrible for me to say.
That was
the
pretty
baby
bad for
should
you
have
to say
stayed. Oh my goodness, the animal people are gonna be so mad at me.
They don't watch our show,
Hey,
so you're fine.
Felicia.
Where's Felicia?
My
Oh,
cousin.
Felicia Johnson. What's the deal? Felicia Johnson Perry.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Hi.
Good to see you.
So good to see
Courtney
you.
is here too.
Hey, Courtney.
Camila says
girl.
you soften with age. Also, pandas are the best. Okay, good. So thank you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, right. The baby is a citizen. It was born here. You're right.
That's what I'm saying. But you don't.
you
you don't
can't separate
separate.
it. No.
I wasn't thinking.
So I
you
watched.
cannot separate.
I watched the motorcade of them and the coverage of the motorcade, and then I watched. They had a guy at the airport, which was the Dulles Airport, showing the plane coming in, getting ready. And then I watched something else. See, end of the show. Now, Team John, separating families. Exactly.
Wow.
That should be me. Felicia says she misses us. Miss you
Oh,
too.
miss you too. It's been
We need
too
to see you,
long.
for real.
Shanika,
Shanika's on here
my
too.
other cousin. Oh my goodness.
There's a whole bunch of cousins on here
the
tonight.
family showing up.
China said they want their babies back. That's all it was. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's basically what
That's
happened. You know
right.
what I'm saying? And that's bad. But anyway, so I don't know why I was so riveted today. I don't know why that was such a big deal. But I thought it was great television.
It was great
I
television,
enjoyed it.
and I mean, people were crying.
I wasn't
mean,
crying. I just want to make sure
I'm
you know
not-
that.
I didn't say you.
I'm just saying that the
see?
Times know. When they talk about sentimental and all stuff, you talk
People
about crying.
were crying.
They were.
Kids were
Kids were
crying.
crying.
You know, adults were like, I've been seeing these pandas all my life, and I wanted my kids to see. I mean, just people have their and they're talking about Atlanta. I guess Atlanta Zoo has pandas that need to
Still,
go back to China too.
They will
So
be going soon. I
I'm
think
not
they
sure.
said. I
I
think they
don't
said the
know.
Atlanta pandas will be going back sometime next year.
Oh,
so there's a lot of
okay.
people who want to still be able to see
Yeah.
pandas. They can see them in Atlanta, but you can't see them here anymore. They're
Wow.
gone.
But they're gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Aren't they? The Atlanta ones?
Yeah, next year. They said
Okay,
they're
yeah. Mm-hmm.
getting out of here next year. They got to send them back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Andrew Francis, don't be a hater. Hashtag Team April. Stop sharing fake news.
who said that?
Camilla. I love it.
Where? Oh,
At the bottom.
oh, she did say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
well,
my goodness. Miss Straight Up No Chaser.
the
talking about
government
April
only
to go
separates
on-
families at the border. There you go, April.
Oh,
So I'm telling you right now, I'm getting
that
people
is
on my team already.
terrible, But
You
you
know what I'm saying? Because
are
of what you said.
You are
You know what I'm
right. No, she is. You know.
She's saying
I
you
know
shouldn't
that.
have said that.
I-
you know what I'm saying?
No, she's
Team-
making a
Team John.
She's making a jab to the government, not
Team-
me.
Team John.
Okay.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
talk about that. Oh, you know what, baby? I didn't put in tonight's subject into the crawl.
Oh,
Oops.
babe, you didn't put it in the crawl. Please don't.
You
okay,
want me to do it right
let
now?
me tell you something, y'all. I know
can
my
do it
husband.
right
no,
now.
please do not do that. My husband, I felt his body movement before he even did it. That he was about to go type it in and do and then I'm gonna be left here like ba-da-ba-da.
All I
trying
have to do
get
is
you to-
copy and paste.
No, babe.
It's
don't
easy.
do it. No.
Why not?
Because we're talking to the chimes.
I'm
They
doing it.
hear. John, don't do that.
What do y'all think I should do it? Should I
No.
type the
Do we
tonight's
need-
topic into the
well, I
crawl
know
so
we
you can
need
see it
the
on the
ticker,
bottom?
But we don't need the ticker right now. Let's just talk because you're going to be all distracted with the ticker. Woo, pandas are mistreated. By who?
Are they?
And they're not endangered anymore, mind you.
They're not. So
So that's
hold
good.
on. So this is another interesting story, an interesting part of this story.
Mm-hmm.
Why the coverage meant so much. Apparently, this pandas on loan thing was a part of the way to actually get them from being an endangered species. So they were endangered,
okay.
and now they're not anymore. I don't know what the thing is above that. So basically, you have it where everything's fine, and then you have this other thing, and then you have endangered. They're at this middle part. So they're not quite where it's like, everything's fine.
They're on watch or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they call it, but somebody in the chimes knows, or they'll probably Google it right now and put it in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
I think Primo's Team April tonight, because look, we know what happens when John presses buttons during the show. Shake my head. See, he on my side. Go ahead and put in Team April, Primo, right now.
Look, Camila said it's not Atlanta Zoo, it's Zoo Atlanta. My son yelled that out when
Zoo
y'all
Atlanta.
said it.
I should
Hold on.
know
Her
that.
son is
It
up
Zoo
and watching?
Atlanta.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Camila, how old is your son? That's what I want to know. Because what we're talking about tonight. Anyway, China did a really great job getting them off the endangered list, honestly. Yeah, they did. They really did.
Yeah.
They really did a good job.
But,
And
panda is that's their animal.
It
like,
is. Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
to make sure
they do.
that the pandas stay with us.
Yeah.
And they're
All
so
right.
cute.
All right, so I don't have the crawl for you, so that's fine. April doesn't want me to change it, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, let's just get into it.
But we're going to get to the topic
I
for
know you're
tonight.
going to be cringing the whole time.
I won't be
wanting-
cringing at all.
Okay.
So
good,
first of
good.
all, the title of tonight's episode is "How Come I Always Have to ...
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know if you felt this before. I'm sure you have, but okay, hold on. Let's
he's
just stop to say
5?
he wasn't watching. He just heard it from the other room,
my
and he's fine.
goodness, he's so cute. Oh my goodness.
And Woo, yes, he did have a chance encounter with us last week. Last week we ended up at the same church.
I know.
And it was,
That was a nice surprise, Woo. I miss you guys.
Yeah.
That was a really nice surprise.
Miss you too.
Threatened.
Yeah, so it's threatened, then endangered, then
then
extinct.
extinct.
I knew somebody would come through for us. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you, Drew.
No, they said something else though.
Maybe
They didn't use because we were in the middle, so it was like endangered.
So maybe there's one above threatened then?
I know it wasn't threatened. Well, maybe it was, but I don't remember them saying that.
All I know is
But
it wasn't whatever the
maybe
safe
it was
word
threatened and endangered.
is.
Maybe it was.
And it wasn't endangered anymore. I know that. It was somewhere between those
But
two.
whatever it said, threatened sounds really bad. So I remember thinking, oh, good. So
Right. Whatever
if
it
I-
was, you liked the word.
Yes,
you thought,
if I had
good,
heard
they're not
threatened, I'd be like,
endangered. Right.
ooh.
See,
you know.
I just heard them say they're no longer endangered.
No, but then they said
and
they're
then whatever
just,
the word was, I don't know that I necessarily associated anything with that word. I just no longer
I don't think
endangered.
it
Like
was-
yes,
Yeah.
And then I remember whatever the word they used, it made me think, oh, so they're not out of the woods yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I don't remember hearing
Threatened
threatened.
might have been
But
it.
it was something like that. So you're
Anyway.
right. You're probably right.
Okay, so the topic for tonight is how come I always have to ... And so the original idea was for us to talk about one particular aspect of feeling like you always have to do a certain thing in the relationship. And then we thought, you know what? There's a lot of stuff that comes up. And so part of the reason why we talk about this and we're talking about vulnerable.
That was it.
That was
it was vulnerable.
Yes.
That was it.
Thank you, Andrew. The word
That
was
was
vulnerable.
it.
That
I
was
told
what
you,
it
like
was.
threatened sounds a little bit like
So maybe it was
endangered.
vulnerable, then threatened, then endangered? I don't know.
It's vulnerable. That's
Anyway.
right.
All right, we'll ignore the chat for a second. So
Okay.
part of the thing that's been happening lately with us is we have been getting couples to come back again needing to discuss things with us. And one of the things that keeps coming up is this recurring theme of one of the two feeling like they are the one that has to do a particular thing all the time. And that makes them feel some kind of way. And actually, what we've noticed is that it steals intimacy. It impacts the bedroom, definitely, but there's other areas of intimacy. Of course, we talk about this all the time. It's not just the bedroom, right? So it does impact it. And so we wanted to talk about that tonight. We wanted to talk about some of the things surrounding that. Now, the first aspect of this that I kind of wanted to discuss with you, babe, is before we get into like talking about it generally,
Yeah.
I want to talk about you and me.
Oh boy.
Do you feel like there is a particular thing in our relationship where you feel like you pretty much have to do that all the time? Or maybe not all the time, but most of the time, and you would like it if it was more evenly matched? Or maybe if there was a time when it was like that, maybe it isn't like that now or something like that. If you're ready to answer that right now.
Well, I guess I think one time recently I was like, if I don't clean this bathroom, it ain't never gonna get clean. Now, I do know that we have decided whose job it is to do what, so
Right.
that we won't have to worry about nobody getting mad at nobody for whatever.
Can you
Right.
explain why you walk clean the bathroom?
I like the bathroom cleaned in a certain way. I know that.
I just want to
But-
make sure people know.
I know.
That's good.
Look, I don't have a problem with that. I like cleaning the bathroom. It's
Right.
just that sometimes when we're busy or whatever, it'd be nice if, I think sometimes I do every once in a while. I don't want to put you all right with me putting you out
April,
there?
this is why do we have this show?
Okay, so
What is the point of it?
When men
If you're
use
not
the
gonna put me on
bathroom,
blast.
when men use the bathroom, they don't necessarily, aim,
I aim every time. It's just sometimes
be aiming.
sometimes it's nighttime. You know
They
what I'm
don't
saying?
aim right, Then
You know-
sit down.
So that's what John said. John said, "Dad, you would never miss the bowl if you just sat down."
Sit down.
I said, "Bro, I'm not sitting down.
Who cares?
I
No
only
one
sit
can
down for
see
number
you.
2." That's
No
true.
one can see you. And
In the middle of
it
the night, though,
gets-
it's so much
if
easier
it's
to
the middle
stand
of-
up.
Yeah, but then I'm having to be down there
You
behind
wish
the toilet.
sometimes I clean that
So
up.
anyway, I wouldn't mind, every once in a while if you see it. And do you ever see that you've done that? Do you ever? That's a good question. Do you ever see that you have missed
That's a very good question.
the mark?
Okay, so I want you to know that I routinely wipe off the toilet seat
You do.
or
you do.
around it after I'm done. So whatever you're seeing, I definitely didn't see because I thought I cleaned up after
No,
myself.
I'm talking about the floor.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I definitely didn't see that.
You don't ever see
I
the
don't.
floor?
No, I don't think I'm missing it hitting the floor. I didn't know until just now.
He just said, "I don't think
I
I'm
didn't know.
missing it." Neither. You need to sit down.
I might try.
Oh my
I'm gonna try
goodness!
tonight,
Just
since
at night
nobody
when you
knows.
can't
It's
see
like-
and it's
right,
dark
right.
and you're trying to not turn on the light, Anyway, that might be the time that I say, it'd be nice if he cleaned the toilet
Mm-hmm.
because most of the stuff is
It's from me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, so let me ask you that. Well, I know you probably be like number 1, number 2. What? that
Okay,
you do
so-
all the time. Cause see, John.
Let me say this about me so that they know.
Thinks that-
And,
okay.
and people who watch this show will already know this about me.
Yes.
That I'm an acts of service person,
Mm-hmm.
and acts of service people, I think, have this in common. If you're honest with yourself, I think we have this in common. That is, there are times when often we feel like we're the only ones doing stuff. Because we usually, I learned this word when I was on sabbatical and I was going to regular therapy. We often overfunction as acts of service people.
Yeah.
Often doing things nobody asked us to do and all involved in things.
then all of a
and
sudden
then
you
we
mad at
that
the
we
people,
doing it. And, they're not
And ain't
doing
nobody
it.
asked you to do that.
And nobody
yeah.
even asked you to do that. So I do think on a day like that, I would have a list, but that wouldn't really be about you. That'd be about me.
Okay.
So there is one thing that used to be a thing, but it's not a
Why
thing
you
anymore.
bringing up the past?
I know, right?
That's kind of
and-
wrong.
You're sorry. But this one thing we're going to talk about tonight anyway, so
Okay.
I'll just talk about
All
it
right.
here, and that is initiating sex.
Mm-hmm.
There was a period of time, we've shared with you guys before, there was a period of time where we were, I don't want to say experimenting, but we were kind of changing up birth control. And there was one birth control that actually created some issues for us in terms of like libido and things like that for April. And during that stretch, that might have been a full year. How long did you have that?
That was 3 years, boo.
Copper IUD for 3 years? I do not
3
remember it being 3 years.
Years.
I am, listen,
Listen, we've
I
talked.
you have to say I'm a G for fighting,
John,
for
it
stuck.
wasn't 3 years that we dealt with that. You know what? He is a mess. He is a mess.
How long did we deal with
It
that?
might have been a year because
Okay.
it was the first
That's
when
what
you
I'm-
when you
yes.
first got it. But
Yeah.
it kind of mellowed
mellowed
out. But
out.
then I
Right,
got rid of
right,
it. But the big
right.
thing is, it was 3 years that.
So
I had
that was a thing for me.
Yeah.
A thing for me was I felt like during that time I was the only one initiating. So we'll talk about that again when we get to that part of the topic. But
Okay.
there are 3 main things that we hear when people talk to us about this subject. 3 main reasons that they feel like they're the only ones that do stuff. People that feel like they're the only ones that do chore related things around the house, whether that's
Yeah,
cooking
they're
or
the only ones that do it.
right.
And I'm gonna. So, a part of this category, I would say, would be something like planning vacations, or planning your date nights, or planning your time together, we've heard this so much lately where one person's feeling like they're the ones doing it all the time and they are tired of that.
So maybe we should call it something different than chores. What would we say? Initiating, um, I don't know.
Moments, I don't know.
Things
Intimate moments, I don't know. Well, chores wouldn't go in that. Stuff. You like
okay,
that word.
we'll just say stuff.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Initiating stuff. You
Like
that
household,
word.
household, family stuff.
Family
things
stuff.
to deal
Family
with the
things.
that
I'd rather,
we. Yeah, let's say things.
Yes.
That you don't
Family
like that word.
things. So things like vacation
Yeah.
or doing things with the family. You have that one person who might be really good at that or takes the initiative or is just really good at planning. And so I think that person sometimes feels like, unless we've seen it with these couples where that person feels like, man, I'm always the one. Why can't you do it this time? Because it can be stressful. It can be, so much on that person where everything falls on them when it comes to that. And so we have seen couples actually where one might resent the other because they feel overwhelmed with that task or that duty. And they are also the ones that decided as a family, we're going to vacation every quarter or twice a year or, every week we're going to have a date night. But I'm the one who's always got a plan. After a while, it gets a little...
I think
It's a lot.
sometimes
That's a lot on one person to be thinking about all the time, I think, for some people.
I think sometimes it's the stress of it, but I also think maybe a person would feel taken for granted,
Yes.
right? So it doesn't just have to be that it's always stressful. Sometimes it may be, I just don't feel, I don't know what it is, but sometimes if something happens and it just keeps happening and no one has to think about it and it just happens and we don't even notice it, sometimes you get upset.
You just ready for the trip and you don't even know how it
Your
was
bag is
planned.
packed. Like literally, I probably packed it.
Right.
Because
No,
a lot of times
yeah,
we hear
a lot
that.
of times we hear
you know
that,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
And so you just ready to go on the trip every quarter, but you don't do anything
But you
to
don't
make
do
it
anything
happen.
to get ready, to help, to prepare.
Right. To participate in the preparation to make it happen. That could make a person
and
feel.
it really is taken for granted.
Yeah, so sometimes I think it's the stress of it. Sometimes I think it's like overwhelming. There was a reel you watched, I think it was today. You might have posted
I
it.
did. I posted it. Yeah.
Of a guy crying and the thing said something like, when you know you have to cook every day or something like
You
that.
got to figure out what to make or something like that.
Yeah. I think that's daunting on a person to know that every single day for the rest of our lives I have to figure out what to
I
make.
said that to John one time because I
didn't know what the problem was. I'm like, what's
He's
the
like,
big deal? Why is
Like,
it stressful?
It is stressful
Why are
to
you?
figure out what you're gonna make, and so I'm asking him, what do you want to eat tonight? I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know. Whatever. I'm like, and then you bring the food, and they're like, oh, I don't want that. Or
I don't
know,
usually do that.
now-
Now the kids would do that.
no, you went through a period where you were like, and I was like, what?
Oh.
Anyway, we won't get into all that. My point is, it's like when you know you're the one, you're the only one that can do that or has to do that
Right.
or is doing that.
Right.
It can be a little burdensome.
Yeah. It's
And
definitely problematic.
And not saying that you necessarily have to have it even. You
I
cook
agree.
the same amount of times I cook or whatever. But I think being appreciated has a lot to do with that when it comes to the family things. That's what we said we're gonna call this
Yes.
first thing, family things.
Yes.
Feeling appreciated. Even if you're a sous chef, you know.
So you're the one cooking, but I'm in
I'm
there
cooking,
chopping
but
everything for you and
throwing
getting
away
stuff
or
ready
washing the dishes while
Right.
I think those kinds of things
Participating.
make you feel like you're not alone in this.
So I would say if you're the person in the relationship who's always being accused of not participating in stuff like this, I would say try volunteering or getting involved without being asked.
I say you can sous chef anything.
True.
So you could just say, sous chef with the cleaning, sous
Yep.
chef with the planning.
Yep.
So you can sous chef anything.
Yes.
Okay, so you could even say, hey, I found this dope restaurant. Do you, what do you think about this?
Mm-hmm.
And how hard is it to call and make a reservation? That's not that hard.
Because I do think there's something to, even if I'm better at it and I like doing it, there is something to having to always do it. It would be nice if we really have a partnership where we're one with each other. It would be nice if you got involved every so often.
Yeah.
I don't need you to take it over necessarily.
Right.
Some people want that though.
and
Some people are like, I've been doing it for 10 years. I'm tired of this
That's
now.
true.
You
That's
take
true.
it.
But
what I'm
that's
saying?
where you have to communicate that.
Right.
You
Exactly. Right.
talk about that. But I think too, you can sous chef sometimes. You don't have to sous chef all the time.
Right. You mean sometimes you can just cook?
No. I'm saying sometimes you can just sous chef. Sometimes you
Okay.
don't necessarily have to
Oh,
always.
it doesn't have to be
sous
right.
chefing.
Right. You don't have to.
You know,
You don't have to do it
I
every
think-
single time. I
think
agree with that.
alone will make things a little bit better
I agree with you.
as far as that topic is concerned.
Yeah.
All right. What's the next one?
The next one is biggest, in my opinion. This is the one we get most often.
Yes.
And this is the one that we think is probably the most problematic. The first one, having to do with like family things, chores, and all that kind of stuff, we think that has a cumulative effect.
It does
So
over time.
So over time, that's something that
that's
becomes
gonna build
burdensome.
up.
Yeah.
And that's going to become resentment
Right.
and all that stuff.
But this next one doesn't have to build up. Or I should say, it takes fewer of these to be a problem.
Can I just say, I want to go back to family things
Okay, go
because I
ahead.
think we have to add when one person is always doing the kid stuff.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
You know, taking the kids here, going to the parent meetings, the teacher conferences,
When they're little, always doing the feeding, always putting them to bed, always changing
dressing them, all
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you definitely want to have a lot of participation there. So one of the things that we did when our kids were little, it's a long time ago, by the way, but when they were babies, there were certain things I could not do because I wasn't the mother. When the kids were breastfeeding still, obviously I couldn't do that. Now I could feed them from the bottle, the breast milk that we pumped, but
That we pumped.
I hook up with the pump. You know what I'm saying? I hooked it up. You know what I
You
mean?
ain't hook up no pump.
I never hooked up the pump to the
No.
thing.
To the thing.
I thought I brought the
No.
pump and hooked it up.
No, you didn't.
Okay, maybe I didn't. That she pumped. But I'm saying what I decided was I was going to get actively involved in other aspects to make that easier because what April made clear to me was that it wasn't only sort of like this is the next several years that this is going to happen, right? But also there were certain things I could not do. So it almost made it like, man, I'm extremely lonely. I'm the only person who can actually fulfill this particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she was saying. So it helped when I would get involved in other stuff, like, making sure we were constantly stocked with diapers. Anytime she needed something new, I'd go to the store and be the one to get it. Obviously, she really couldn't leave the house like that at that time. It wasn't as easy for her to do that. I got regularly involved in washing the kids for bath time or putting them to bed and stuff like that. Those are things I thought I could actually contribute. Since I couldn't contribute in other areas, I could contribute there. And there were just point blank, there were some times when the kids were little where they only wanted mommy. Like there were things that I couldn't provide to them at that time in terms of, I guess, maternal things that a mother would have. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just think that's important for people to do in a situation like that.
Okay, you can move on to the
Okay,
next
so this second one we said doesn't take as much to build up. And that is if I feel like I'm the only person who initiates conflict.
Y'all,
So
this is a big one.
yes.
I am the only one who brings up the fact that there was an issue about whatever. We know that this was an issue. Matter of fact, I saw that you were mad. But days have gone by and you still have not brought this up. Why?
Yeah.
Why am I now saying, so last week I saw that you did whatever. We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Every time, even if it's not me, even if it's you, I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
Never initiating conflict. Always waiting on the other person to come and say the thing.
Yes.
And you know that they're going to. This hair is somewhere and it's killing me.
Really?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
don't know.
Is it on your mic maybe?
I don't know. Yes, there it is.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm going to do it, so you just don't say anything. You just let it go. You don't even bring it up.
So
Now, it could be that somebody is avoiding conflict. It could be that somebody's an avoider.
Yeah.
Yes. But it also could be, if she don't say nothing, then I know we good. Or if he don't say nothing, then I'm cool.
right.
Because they're the initiators when it comes to conflict. And so you kind of just let it go.
So the people that talk to us about this, the person who feels like they're always the one initiating, their feeling is that they're the only one working on the relationship.
Yeah.
That's what it makes them
That's
feel
what it
like.
makes them feel like. Yeah.
This is what they say to us. I feel like I'm the only one who's working on the relationship. So this thing will happen. He or she will never bring it up. I always have to be the one to bring it up. It feels like I'm always the one initiating conflict. And if I didn't bring it up, we would never talk about it.
Yeah, which then makes you feel like you're the only one who cares.
Right.
And I had somebody say to me, I'm tired. I'm tired because I'm the only one that has to feel like they have to think about it, bring it up. And, when you're thinking about conflict, it can cause you to have a stomach ache.
Right.
You
exactly.
know what I mean? I mean,
yes.
It causes a form of stress.
Yes.
So if you're carrying that all the time, every time it's on you, after a while you're tired, physically tired.
Yeah. So let me suggest.
And then you could end up being tired of the relationship. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me suggest a couple reasons why a person might do this, though. Because we were talking about this earlier, and we decided not to keep talking about it. We said, let's save that for the show. I think that there are times when I might feel like I'm the only person initiating the conflict or bringing it up or whatever, when in fact, I just bring it up in a more direct way, and maybe my partner tries to bring things up in an indirect way, and I don't recognize that way as being a legitimate way to resolve conflict. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. So basically, one might bring it up verbally.
Yes. And just straight up just be like, what happened earlier?
Yes.
What was that about? You know
Another one might bring it up non-verbally.
Correct.
But through gestures or just, silent treatment or attitude or just going away.
Yes.
Just, taking some time in another room, removing himself or herself. And those are signs. And so you kind of have to know. And I guess that's what makes it a burden. Because it's like, and I'm just saying, you have to verbally talk about it.
I think at some point you have
can't
to. There's no way
non-verbally talk about it. I don't know how that's possible.
You can't. It's not possible.
No.
You don't have telepathy.
Exactly.
So we don't know each other's thinking.
Right.
There's no way.
Oh, you can go back and forth with facial expressions.
Yeah, but that's we should try that. We should try like a facial expression argument.
Oh my goodness, that would be terrible.
That would be hilarious.
So you can't do that. So the person who is seeing the non-verbal gestures or whatever.
Hold on, real quick. I think I would first of all, I lose most arguments anyway. But I would lose a facial expression argument with you every day. There's no way. I only have like one or two facial expressions.
No, because if you have to, you'll think about it.
I don't know. I would lose.
Let's try it.
You would wax me every time. You'd be like, "What does that one mean?" I don't understand. What is that?
Because you look the same for
right.
all of them.
What's that? That's the same facial expression.
No, but so I'm the one coming to you. If I'm the one who verbally expresses, I'm coming to you now every time because you're nonverbal.
Yeah.
Verbally expressing.
Right.
So I'm still feeling like
it's the same effect.
It's the same effect because I'm the one initiating.
Yes.
So even though you might be having the nonverbal expressions or whatever, you're not initiating anything.
So
you might be thinking you are.
So I'm talking about something slightly different than that because
Okay.
I do think that's a thing. And in that case, I would say that's definitely not initiating. But what if, let's say I want to start a conversation about something that happened earlier, and I just, you know how some people just like beat around the bush? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there are other people that just get right to it
Yeah.
and just, like somebody's direct. What happened earlier? What was that about? Why did you laugh like that? Why did you cut me off? Why did whatever?
Right.
Okay, that's a direct person. But there are other people that aren't as direct. They're literally kind of warming up to it. Kind of tiptoeing around it. And I'm saying that, in my opinion, should be recognized as a form of initiating, even though the person may not be direct. They're
agree.
talking to you and they're trying to get to it. And I think in those situations, obviously, if you're already upset, it's going to be really hard to be patient with your partner in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I still think that should be considered as something.
I think so.
And some
I think
people
so.
might say, well, you know what? Maybe my spouse does sometimes try to initiate. It's just I don't like the way they initiate.
And you know what? You may want to, if you feel like you're always initiating conflict, you actually might want to think about it and say, let me think about it and see what my partner does do.
Yes.
What do they do to what my partner does do?
Does do. That's right.
Okay. I don't know why that sounds so weird. Does do.
That's right.
Okay.
What they does do.
What they does do. That's what it sounds like. I was like, what they does do.
What does my partner actually do? You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
But I'm saying I think you said it the right way.
What do they do
Yes.
that may seem like, let me think about it.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? He always or she
Mhm.
always
Mhm.
kind
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
goes off and sits over on the side and
Mhm.
doesn't say anything. Maybe
Mhm.
that's her way or his way of initiating conflict.
Or maybe that's the way of getting themselves ready because they know they need to process it first, or whatever the case is.
Yes, but
Either way, here's what I'm saying:
Mhm.
those people who come to us feeling that way often have said things that make us think that if it goes on too much longer, they're not going to be able to take this
That's
anymore.
what I'm saying.
So I think that other spouse, the other person in the relationship, needs to realize that they have to get better at being emotionally connected, being able to express their feelings, being willing to be direct about something, not hiding from conflict,
Yes.
being assertive enough to say what they really want. All of those things are really important to healthy relationships that have good intimacy.
Yes, and I think there's a timeline when it comes to this initiating conflict. I think the person who initiates conflict, they're in the beginning, they're like, yes, I'm going to say something. We need to deal with this. And then after a while, it's like, oh man, I'm always doing this. You know what? I'm going to see if I don't have to do it every time. I'm not going to necessarily do it the next time. And then the next time nothing happens and then you end up having to do it. So then after a while you get tired. And you're like, and then you're at a point where you're like, you know what? I'm not going to say nothing. I'm done. And then what happens is resentment begins to build because you're not saying anything.
Right.
And you're mad.
Right.
And you're holding it in and
Yeah.
you're not dealing with it.
Yeah.
And so then becomes contempt.
Yeah.
So it can literally move through that timeline and cause you to then say, I'm done.
Right. This
So,
is it.
you know, what do you do when you have to have a conversation, first of all, and share? I feel like I'm the only one. And sometimes we've had this, guys, where people say, I'm the only one, and they say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to try, and then they don't
Right.
because it's not in them.
Right.
And
Or they
you know
do
what?
try, but they don't come at the level that
That
the
you
partner
want.
needs them to.
Yes. And you
But
know what?
you're so much more advanced in that
And
area.
you
It might
know-
take me a long
yeah,
time.
but and you know, John Gottman says something about there are some issues in your marriage that you are never going to solve.
Yeah.
He said that, and it's true. That may
Yeah.
be something.
Some
because-
conflicts you're just never going to be
because-
on the same page on.
because that might be a personality thing.
Yeah.
And
You're
it
just
might
too
be
different on
very
that one.
difficult for the
Yeah.
person to come like you want them to come.
That's true. Those are things that have to be
All right,
considered.
last one.
Last one
This is a
because
big one,
we
too.
got to get some comments from the
Oh
chimes.
man,
We've
yeah,
been
our
ignoring
time's
them.
running out.
Okay. The last one's initiating sex, and we talked about this a second ago.
Yeah.
Some
Always being the one.
Yes, some
Yeah.
couples, one person feels like they're always the one who has to initiate it, and if eventually it makes them feel like their partner actually doesn't want them. So it's like if I'm always the one initiating it, either there's something wrong with me because I have like too high of a sex drive, and maybe I'm a freak, and like, oh man, I feel kind of weird now, always having to be the one.
Why is that funny?
I don't know. It
Yeah,
is funny
okay.
though. Or like I said earlier, it could be like, does he or she even like me?
Yeah. Do they want me?
Yes.
Am I good enough physically?
Correct. Maybe I'm just not attractive. Maybe she doesn't like me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then in too many couples, the question is my partner getting it somewhere else? You know, pornography. Are they cheating on me? Whatever.
Right.
So not initiating, being the only one to initiate sexual contact, really can make a person feel insecure
Right.
about themselves and whether or not
Yeah.
the other person even desires them.
So if you haven't initiated, you need to go ahead and do that.
Do you mean like tonight?
Yeah.
It's
If
a
you're
good-
not
it's a good homework
if you're not
assignment,
the
actually.
initiator, usually, what maybe you should go ahead and initiate. And you know, I was also told by somebody that they do not initiate, and this was very interesting. They don't initiate because it makes them feel like they are a freak or whatever.
Okay.
So they don't, and that goes back to shame.
Yeah, it does.
You know, you must have shame about sex in marriage if you don't feel like you can initiate because it'll make you look a certain way to your partner. And it's really sad that that type of shame is there so that you cannot even initiate with your spouse.
Right.
You know, you got to let that shame go so you can, you know, be like, hey, let's do this, shout. You know what I'm saying?
So real quick before we get the comments from the chimes, I wonder if what I was saying earlier about communication in initiating conflict. I wonder if it could be similar here with initiating sex. Do you think that maybe some partners are trying to initiate, but they don't come on strong enough?
Wow.
Maybe, maybe I thought I was initiating because, I gave you a hug when you came home today instead of,
And
just
then when you
saying hi or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
And when you didn't what? When I gave you the hug, you didn't say, "Ooh, that hug was nice," and so then what?
I don't
Because
know.
it's like,
That's a good question.
yeah,
I don't know.
initiating means that after that initiation,
It leads somewhere.
or that initiating, or what do you say? Yeah,
That's it. Whatever.
whatever. That leads somewhere. So if it doesn't lead,
Okay, so okay.
then maybe you really didn't initiate,
So okay, so
or
okay.
maybe the person didn't want.
Okay. Right. So what if the person who initiates in that way just doesn't know how to follow through with it? So that they thought they were giving a signal, right? Because sometimes all I want to do is signal to you that I'd like us to retreat to the bedroom,
Right.
but I don't necessarily want to say it.
Yeah.
So I might do something that's a little different to see if you sort of catch my drift. Because really what I'm looking for is I want to test it out to see, are you feeling the same way I'm feeling? I don't want you to be giving in every time because I wanted it and so you like, oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
I really want to see, oh, maybe she wants to do it too. So let me throw this, bid for connection out there. And if
Right.
she reciprocates, then okay, then we know.
Right.
So maybe I don't want to go hard. Maybe I just want to kind of give a signal. And then when you give your signal back, maybe then we can go forward with it.
This is the thing. After we, you watch this show and you hear what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think a great thing to do is to say, "Hey, do you need me to initiate more?"
There's no question. People
That's-
should be, listen,
that's like
right
an
now, they
okay
should be
thing
not
to
even
do.
listening to us right now. They should
Yeah.
be talking to each other right now and finding out, do I need to be initiating more in the
Exactly.
kitchen? Do I need to be initiating more with conflict? Do I need to be initiating more in the bedroom? I mean, you need to be literally having this conversation.
Yeah, and I'm saying, I think one thing we don't do is teach. Well, I mean, as married people, we should be teaching and we should be practicing the idea of asking, "What do you want?"
We call it assertiveness.
We don't do that, and I think it's because a lot of people want things to be spontaneous, or we want things to be, where I shouldn't have to ask that, or you shouldn't have to ask me that, or whatever. But sometimes I need to ask,
Right.
so that when I ask, you give me the answer, and then I don't have to ask again,
Right.
and then it will be spontaneous,
Right. Well, you may have to ask again 6 months from now.
No,
like we may have to have this conversation again at some
I mean,
point.
we may have, but at least I am able to know up front.
Right,
Okay, you know
right,
what?
right.
If you tell me, babe, you want me to initiate, I shouldn't have to ask you 6 months from now. Do you want me to initiate? You done said it already.
Good point.
Right. Now, if you want me to initiate more, because once I found out I still wasn't really initiating at the level, then you might say, I saw you try to initiate, but I love that. You think you could do that a little bit
You
more?
moved your initiation to a 3. I need it to be like a 7.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And then the person can say, that's a lot for me.
Right.
Because it's already hard for me to initiate.
Right.
And then you can say, okay.
Right.
What I'm saying is we don't communicate at that level.
I agree.
And I think the reason why is because it's about sharing these feelings that put you out there, and you're
you might get
transparent.
rejected.
Here you are vulnerable.
Right.
You're putting yourself in a vulnerable position where
Yeah.
you might get rejected.
Right.
And then so you don't do it. You're doing that to protect yourself
That's true.
because you don't want to be hurt
You're absolutely right.
or embarrassed, whatever.
We have-
Okay, it's
we have
time to
ig-
get
we
to.
have- we have
I
ignored
know
the
we have
times too
we
long.
have ignored them too long. We're going to be going back now because
Okay.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Ego said, we have a cleaning lady, best marriage thing we should do. So he's talking now about the whole initiating chores thing.
Yeah.
Just get a cleaning lady.
We did that in Atlanta and it was so good.
He said, if
my
you pee with
goodness.
power, it pops out. That's how it ends up on the floor. Ah.
And you don't pee with too much power, where it's always like that. But
Okay.
sometimes you
Sometimes.
do. Yeah.
Angie says decision fatigue. So was
That's
she
it,
talking
Angie.
earlier about like
that is it.
it's hard to come up with the dinner because you have decision fatigue? But which by
That's
the
it, though.
but that's actually
That's
what I
the
was
thing.
dealing with too. I was telling you, you'd ask me, what do you want for dinner? And I'm like, babe, I've been thinking all day, talking to all these people. I don't have no energy. I have no idea. Whatever
I
you make
had
is
it
fine.
too.
Right.
So now we got to work together and see if you bring the two
Uh-huh.
decision fatigue folk together,
Mm-hmm.
then you can make a decision together.
Angie's admitting that she's the avoider in the relationship. So she's saying Jeremy is the one that always initiates the conflict. She's the avoider.
So as the avoider, when you hear this, what happens is after a while, the person who initiates, they get tired.
And Jeremy may not have said that to you yet, but he
No.
will tonight. Now that we've had this conversation, he'll be able to
Have
say
the
it.
conversation.
Like, yeah, that's really true.
Like, do you get tired after a while? Is it a lot?
Because you don't want your spouse to literally be feeling like they're the only one. It's like it creates
Like, I'm the-
despair.
Yes.
I will
Here-
never get out of
here-
this. It's always
here-
only going to be me.
Yeah, here I go again. And then it feels like you're the negative one. Or
Right.
you always have to bring bring down the moment or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
party
change the
pooper
mood.
or change
Yeah,
the
yeah,
mood.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Lovely Rose says maybe both parties are guilty of depending on the other to initiate certain things. I do think that's
Yeah.
true. I do think we've had very few couples where one person feels like they always initiate everything, but we have had that. We have had that. It's
where
just we have
one-
very few couples.
Yes.
So
yes.
in most couples, I would say that each one feels like they're the only ones that does something in certain areas. You don't think so?
No, we have had couples like that, but I'm saying the couples that we've had recently or lately or, within the past year that have really been talking to us about this, it has been one person who feels like they're doing everything. The other person's like, really? Like, they don't feel
like they do anything, but
they don't feel
like
that
ever-
they're
yes,
the
you're
only
right.
person.
You're right. That's true.
So that's maybe what you mean.
It is what I
They
meant,
don't
but you're
feel
right.
that the one person is doing everything. They
Right.
feel that they do something, which they probably are doing something.
Right.
Because you're never doing everything.
Right. I think that's
That's
true.
rare.
I think it's very rare that one person's actually always doing everything.
Right. But when you feel like
You feel it, of course, it makes
that's
a
still an
difference.
issue.
Gabby Agu says the facial expression argument is so much fun. So you've actually done that? Or you just saw ours just now? You're right.
We're going to try it for real.
Primo says couples must communicate about what initiate means to each of them. We can't read each other's
yes.
minds, and we also don't always understand behavioral cues.
Exactly. That's what we talked
true.
about.
That's very
That's
true.
exactly what
And,
we were
and so there
saying.
may actually be cues that are happening that I'm not necessarily
not even aware
recognizing
of,
and
yeah.
noticing, and so that makes a difference.
We need to talk.
Couples really act like their spouse can read their minds. They can't, folks. Communicate what you want. That's
I've
true.
had to tell John that many
She has to
times
tell me that.
I cannot read his mind.
So I don't want you to read my mind. I never want April to read my
he
mind.
does.
No. What I want is sometimes for her to notice something that's been happening the exact same way for 25 years. Like we've been together 23. So wait, we started dating. We dated for 3.5.
That's unfair.
It's been more than 25 years. There have been
cannot
listen to
say
me.
that.
There have been certain things that have been the same about me the entire time. And when that happens again, I'm like, babe, how do you not know? I don't understand.
No,
How do you not
no,
know me? This is not
no.
about mind reading. This is about noticing
No,
this one
John.
thing that's always been the
No,
same.
You cannot say that.
Yes, you can. Horace is late. You late, man? What happened? Why you
he
just
said
get
he
here,
has to
man?
put us on his calendar. Because, see, we coming back every Wednesday
Oh, yeah.
now.
You don't have to put it on the calendar now. Just have it in there, you know what I'm saying? Recurring. Wednesdays at 9, no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Gabby said, no, I've done that. She's had a facial
You've had a
expression.
facial expression argument? Wow. We need to try that. Maybe we should do it like,
That would be fun.
we should do a reel of that.
Mm,
You don't think so?
mm-mm.
Okay, maybe not. Ego said couples have sinister bias.
Mm.
So I think that's true sometimes. And I'm going to assume that sinister bias is the opposite of the thing we talk about all the time, which is we call it there's a thing that friends have with each other that we tell couples if you are friends with your spouse, it will increase your ability during a negative encounter to give them the benefit of the doubt because you have.
You forgot this last time.
Yeah, I did.
Remember
What's it
that?
called?
It's called, and I gave it to you the last time.
It's called something override.
Yeah.
Positive
sentiment override.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. So
Positive sentiment override.
I would
yeah.
assume, Egu, that sinister bias is the opposite of positive sentiment override. Positive sentiment override is that because April and I are friends, I know for a fact that she would not do this to me on purpose.
Exactly. Or he did not mean it that way.
That she did not mean it that way. That more than likely I misheard it or whatever. That's a positive sentiment override that I give to her when we are friends. When I'm working on our friendship.
I know that he would not want to really hurt me
Right.
in that way or whatever.
But Egu says they assume they're doing it on purpose. Right. So there are times when we are in that rut kind of situation where I do think we have a sinister bias. That there's a why? Yeah, he probably did that.
No,
on
but
purpose.
even then, I say I know he didn't do that on purpose, but
that
it felt
really hurt.
like it.
Right.
It felt like you did, you know.
Right.
And I would say I really rarely feel like you did something on purpose.
Right.
That was hurtful towards me.
Yeah.
Because I just don't feel like you're trying to hurt me.
Right.
Because I know you. Now, that's something I know. You talking about, you know me, I've been like this for 20-something years. That's what I know. So that's what counts. That counts more than...
I'm glad you know that. I need to know some other
counts more
stuff
than
too,
what
though.
you're talking about.
Angie agrees with me. I agree. They should know some of our cues. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about,
That's
Angie.
not what he's talking about, Angie. He is not talking about cues.
I'm
honey.
saying...
He is not talking about
That is what I'm talking about.
cues.
You say it's reading your mind. It's not that at all.
John, okay.
It's not that.
We need examples.
Horace has a good excuse. He had to pick up his dad from the airport. His dad's in from Jamaica.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Aw.
Tell Dad we said what's
Dad,
up.
hey.
I hope he enjoys himself. I don't know how long he's staying, but when you come from Jamaica, you gotta stay for
And
at least
can he
3
cook-
weeks.
Can he cook like you, Horace?
I'm sure that's where Horace gets it from. Tell him to make you some oxtails, Horace.
Yes.
Gabby says, yes, through the day and then at night, Mr. Man wants to talk. What's that? Shoops? What's that?
Scups.
Scups? What, I don't know what that is. We done face it. I don't know what that is.
Oh, my goodness. They assume they're doing it. Oh, yeah, we read that. Okay.
Yes. Yes, love the benefit of the doubt. Use it regularly. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
I definitely think that will help you in a lot of your conflicts with your spouse is giving them the benefit of the doubt. Assume that they did not do that on purpose. They're
did
not
not do it on
trying to
purpose.
actually hurt you, even though it hurt
Exactly.
bad. Just start with that presupposition. Miss Trader Rotation, this is a great topic. Well
Oh,
done.
thank
You
you.
very much. So maybe we should just get into who wins tonight. Hey, guys. Anthony. Hey, guys. Been a minute.
Hey.
Good to see you guys back. Mad love. And how about them Knicks? Yes, I'm totally off topic. Now, let me just say, I have not been watching the Knicks tonight. I know right now, I think we're still playing against the Spurs. I heard the game started off well. Anthony, what's the score? Did we win already? Did somebody block Wemby? The Knicks are never off topic, no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
that.
Just so that you know.
And the Hawks.
No, not the Hawks.
Listen, Anthony lives in Atlanta.
But he's from Brooklyn.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care where he
He need
lives.
to be giving some updates
Listen,
on the Hawks.
he's won
You-
with an Atlanta
Your
girl.
children
You know what
were
I'm
born.
saying? He's won with an
in
Atlanta
Atlanta.
girl just like I am.
So, exactly.
But
And you got an Atlanta girl. Don't even lie. You know you like the Hawks, too.
Andrew says Team John save pandas' families.
I lost
need to
because
put
of
I
that.
need to put that up there so that we know
was
what
an
this
accident,
is.
guys.
This is Team John or
Benefit
Team
of the
April.
doubt.
You know what I'm
Benefit
saying?
of the doubt. We just talked about that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know I don't want to separate
Oh,
families.
Gabby says that's her sucking her teeth or kissing her teeth. Kissing
Oh, that's how
teeth.
you spell it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the patois way of spelling it. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
okay.
So Team John or Team April tonight, y'all know what you guys
Come
do.
on,
You know what I'm
guys.
saying?
Give me
I
the
won
benefit
from
of
the
the doubt.
beginning tonight.
Give me the benefit
From the
of the
beginning.
doubt.
You know what I'm saying? In the beginning.
In the beginning.
In the beginning. So yeah, so go ahead and throw that up there. You definitely know that it's Team John tonight, as always. But some of you are just nice to April. You know what I'm saying? And I get that.
Wow. You know, I should get it just because of that. Because that was very, arrogant.
Belittling.
Belittling.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Oh man, we won 126-105, and we handled Wemby.
Whoa.
That's
we
what I'm
gotta go
talking
back
about.
and watch.
Thank you, Anthony. I'm definitely going to watch that. I got league
Oh, you're
pass,
right,
so-
Primo. You don't need to type your vote because it's Team April.
No, it's definitely not.
Because of what happened earlier. Yay,
Camille,
Camille.
Team April. Mr. Rotator,
John,
Team John, April.
is
is
separate.
separated families.
Benefit of the doubt.
you,
Come
thank you
on,
so
Miss
much.
Straight Up No Chaser. Come on
Talk
now.
about Gabby. I was late. It's been a minute, so I'm going to support my girl, Team April.
Yay.
Destroy. I'm with April with the toilet, Team
Yes,
April. Oh my
exactly.
goodness.
Come on, ladies. I'm winning so far. It is not tied,
As
babe.
usual.
Uh-oh,
Jeremiah,
Team
Team John. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, sir. You know what? We have to go back and look. I really don't think I've won much. There was one or two times. I remember one time or one episode. I kind of
And-
preached
and you
about
know
something,
why?
and I won that one.
I
but-
remember one episode you won because I was hardly talking. I was
You were like
so
sleep that night?
sleepy, y'all. I mean, I literally don't even remember the show.
So what you're
and
saying?
I said, what
you're
did I
saying
say
is
tonight?
I only win when you don't participate. Is that what you're saying?
Thank you, Jackie.
Mitchell, Team April.
Yes.
It's a shame before God.
Oh, I'll give it to you tonight, babe.
Hey, y'all, stop putting Team April in the chat.
Team beautiful couple working together. Oh,
Melanie
thank
Wright, Team
you.
April. Thank you, Tavi.
Thank you, Melanie.
Very much. Ah.
Oh.
Oh,
But,
my goodness.
But for real, that's what Miss. Yes, right. That's right. Pastor Nixon came out that on
Yeah,
that
yeah,
show.
that's exactly right. I wasn't trying to, but all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, I was
But
pooping,
initiating
you know what I'm saying?
initiating sex, someone needs to be doing that who does not normally do that.
Tonight.
This week.
Okay, this
Yay,
week.
Felicia, Team April.
Wow, that was nice. She has. You're my cousin too, Felicia. Remember that.
Oh my
Yeah, that's
goodness.
long. We Chime should actually keep score during the show. Make check marks when John or April says something that resonates, then post the winner at the end. That's true.
Oh,
That would
kind
be
of like
dope.
what?
We gotta figure
not
out how to do
first
that. Like
take.
score.
What's the, not first take. What's
some
the show?
of those shows be doing that.
No, what's the one that actually does that with the boxes? And I love that show.
Oh, you're talking about
The sports show.
It's called it comes on before
Supposed to know the name.
PTI. It comes on just before PTI. Pardon the interruption. The name of the show is man, Julia knows it.
Yeah, it's a
I
really
can't
good
remember.
show. It's a sports show, but you get points and all this stuff,
Yeah,
and then whoever it
that's
ends.
bad. Horace says Team John. Oh man, Miss Francis, Team April. Come on, man. Yeah,
Oh, and
I'm getting
Team
the panda.
I guess.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess the panda should go to you, babe, since you didn't separate the baby with the mom
Exactly.
and daddy.
Yeah, that'd be dope though. It's called Around the Horn.
Around
That's
the
right.
Horn, that's
Thank
it.
you,
I
Gabby.
love Around the Horn.
That's exactly what it is. I
Yeah.
love that show. That's a good show.
Actually, that's around the horn.
around the horn.
I'm sorry. I those
you
are
gonna do
the
that?
funniest things to me.
Oh,
Typos
man.
are hilarious.
Yeah. First things first. I don't know what that is. I think you mean first take, Melanie. I think. But that's
Well,
not the show.
We can
It's
do.
Around
You
the
know
Horn.
what? We're gonna do around the horn type thing.
We got to do that.
Let's do that.
We got to
Thank
figure
you,
out. There's a
Primo. We
way
gonna do that.
in here to make it so that you score. We got to find some kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be
And you have to
really
just press your.
fun.
You know what I'm saying? That'd be dope.
So I can't cut you off like I was doing tonight. I'm sorry, I cut you off several times.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I don't remember that.
Because something would come to my mind. I'll say it real quick because if you start talking again, I can't
I
remember
think
what
that
I
was
was
fine.
going to say.
Liam Beckford, Team John all day.
Ooh, we might be tied. I don't do
Gabby
sports.
talking about she don't do sports, but she loves that show.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Anyway.
That's actually hilarious that you
Hey.
don't do sports, but you love that show.
yeah, it's crazy. We love you guys, and we're gonna see you next week. Make it
Yes.
4 weeks in a row. And
gonna
you know what?
be here
Every
next
time we come on the following week, it's literally just to defy Primo, because he said we wouldn't come on. We did 1 week. He said they ain't gonna be here next
that
week.
was a motivation. So
Thank you,
thank
Primo.
you. We
That was
needed
good
that. We
motivation.
needed that motivation. Babe,
Be
I
back in
think
the
we might
saddle
have
now.
tied tonight.
Maybe. I don't know. Either way, I know how you can break the tie.
I might need to be the executive producer of the show.
That's a great idea, Primo.
Don't
we need an
producers
executive
provide funds?
That executive producers provide the funds.
That's right.
You want to
Executive-
just be the regular producer, Primo.
Unless
But
you
yeah,
wanna
you
provide
can
the
send
funds.
send the money.
You can
know what I'm saying?
provide
I'll
the
put my
funds.
cash up on the screen in
Yeah.
a second. You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
we
That
can
ain't
do
no
that.
problem. All right, y'all.
Anyway.
Love you guys. We will see you
See you
next week. Literally same exact time.
Bye, guys.
And by next week, I'll have the blackout thing on the screen. So
Yeah, we need to.
you know what I'm saying?
We gotta fix up
I should
some
have my
stuff.
John and April
Yeah,
thing
we gotta
coming
fix up some
Ah,
stuff,
man,
y'all.
This is crazy, man.
We're
Make
gonna
no
come
sense.
back right next week.
Yeah, man. Not all the way right, because that back's still gonna look like that.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out.
You're right.
Good night.
All right, Jeremiah. Good night, and good night to the rest of y'all.
Bye, guys.
See you next week.